When a friend goes to the diaspora, I wish I could tell you that I know where this comes from, where it all started or was nurtured, but unfortunately, I can't. I even bet that your guess is as good as mine, but what we can certainly both agree on is that it's a continuously growing trend. Let's rewind back a little bit. Almost everyone I know has or knows someone that has left the country in search for better fortunes. Being the Ugandan that I am, I know quite a number of friends that left the land to seek greener pastures elsewhere. How they actually went is a story for another day. Hell, I also tried to leave the country through an agency that has since been forced to shut down business. I guess my luck wasn't as good as theirs, or it was just bad timing. But as soon as you board that plane, ship, or train to a destination beyond Africa, with the exception of South Africa, unknown expectations from back home follow you like ducklings following their mother. It doesn't matter whether we were privy to your departure, the circumstances that surrounded it, or whether we contributed to it in some way. Because in our minds, taking a flight somehow should equate to money. Even if your rich friend from Kololo or a sugar mummy/daddy you've been courting on Tinder or Snapchat offered you an all-expenses-paid one-month vacation, we would still have expectations laid on you prior to your return. But let's educate ourselves a little. The reality of what our brothers and sisters face while abroad is either one we are completely clueless about or have half-baked information to the effect. After watching so many movies, international news streams, and all these YouTube videos about the beautiful cities, lavish life, and opportunities on the other side of the globe, we tend to think that one strikes gold as soon as they land. We think that they start to lead a lavish lifestyle, or at the very least, very comfortable. Whereas that could be true. A friend of mine says it's often not the case. In fact, it takes much longer to figure out than most of us think. And yet, suddenly, oftentimes starting subconsciously, we start to factor them into our plans, counting on them, especially financially, in more ways than we ever have. A part of us not only thinks, but actually believes that they're the key to launching all our business plans and ideas. We don't hope that they support us. We expect them to just do so, as though they don't have plans of their own. We expect them to lend us some calm money, as we love to call it, at zero interest and with no conditions or strings attached, which we often fail or refuse to pay back. Close friends and family members are culprits. Somehow, we think their life objectives and goals should be secondary to ours, or be just as important to them as their own. We start to pitch them all sorts of business plans and ideas. Although some are genuine, many are also hinged on selfish interests, targeting a quick cash injection, part of which will often be misappropriated without consultation from the provider. We expect them to finance our big function budgets, especially weddings and other family events. We count on them to bankroll the biggest item on that one-paged but very long budget. For those whom we even know a little more about, we plan for their pay in our minds as if it were our own, for the simple reason that we expect a share of it. If that isn't selfish, then I don't know what will be. We just become more expectant of them than a pregnant woman expecting a baby. Whereas, God forbid, even a pregnant woman can suffer a miscarriage, we don't expect a stillbirth of our expectations. As you read this, a friendship ended somewhere, a family is disjointed over money expectations from someone in the diaspora. While all this is happening, the girlfriend or boyfriend left behind, counted on to keep the faith and trust intact, is also seated somewhere with their own expectations of their partner on the other end. That small business they discussed before he or she left needs to be started. That piece of land needs to be bought and a house set up on it in the shortest time possible. Why? Because they are paid in foreign currency. Why? Because we have been led to believe that everyone over there is paid per hour. Why? Because we are estimating how much they are paid and already converting it to Uganda shillings. If those in the diaspora would pen a book about what expectations their family members and relatives, both close and distant, and in some cases friends as well as love companions, had of them as soon as they learn about their departure, you would actually be amazed how selfish we human beings are. You would be taken aback how unrealistic, unreasonable some of us can be. At many family levels, we expect them to provide tuition, basic home needs, and cater for medical bills and when they arise on top of a monthly stipend for our pockets. We go an extra notch to expect that they will indulge us with the latest gadgets, especially smartphones, as though they're empty plastic bottles on the streets of Kampala over there. You just have to pick a few and send them home. Our conception is that these gadgets are 10 times cheaper over there than they are here. Well, it usually isn't the case. But whichever the case is, let's just stop. Let's just stop being too expectant of them. Let's just stop being selfish. Let's just stop putting them under pressure. They already have enough on their plates, including the insurmountable pressure from their respective jobs/workplaces. Let's just be there for them and support them. Keep them company on those long WhatsApp calls, even when some are late in the night. And if they have a coin to spare and share with us, let's be glad for it. I'm not saying don't solicit their support if you need it, because they can actually be very generous, but also don't feel bad when they don't offer it. I'm a big believer in Ubuntu, but given the times we are all living in, that Ubuntu practice should be quite reasonable. Don't be too expectant. Hi everyone, this is Robert K. Circles. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast today. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, I'd be incredibly grateful if you could take a moment to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. Give us a like on your favorite podcast platform. Leave a comment letting us know what you thought. We love hearing your feedback. And if you know someone who might enjoy the show, please share it with them. Your support means the world to me and helps us reach more listeners. Thanks again for being a part of the Robert K. Circles community. Until next time, take care.